Hey everyone, my name is Felicia Blake. Some of you may know me for my voice because I've been doing worship for over 20 years because girl got saved at 13, so I've been in the church for a long time. But COVID brought a whole new perspective on church for me. And so in COVID, I really wanted to be off the mic more than anything else. And so what was happening, I was, just questioning a lot of things in faith, in, life, in the meaning of a lot of things. And so because of that, I really just really pulled back. But the good thing, when people said I'm reached rock bottom, I never reached rock bottom. What I hit upon was the cornerstone of my life. So my rock is Jesus. So when I in my low place, I think that's what I hit. And he just reminded me of who he is and what he's doing in my life. Now, why am I doing all of this? Why am I doing all of this? Because as you know too, I recently launched my book, Building Fortitude, Answering the Call to a Lifestyle of Deeper Worship. What's this all about, girl? Listen, during COVID, I started to pull back and I felt myself pulling back. I didn't want to lead worship. I didn't want to do anything in the church. And that's real. And that's a lot of real struggle for a lot of people. But what I did, a friend of mine, oh God, bless my community. A friend of mine sent me a link to a music minister's training. And I went to this training for 1 year. A little bit after COVID, I sat under the leadership and guidance of a music minister who's really honoring God in the gift of music. And that fueled my faith so much so that I'm here today with this podcast, with this book, sharing with you because I want to help you build fortitude. And you may say, Felicia, but that's recent. Yes, but I also was witness to a mom who suffered cancer for 20 years. And I watched her believe God in faith to heal. He didn't heal her the way that she wanted to be healed, but I watched faith in action. Again, that fueled my worship. And it didn't stop there. Let's take it way back. My mom had me at 16 years old. So, she was a teenager. So I am prone to being, having teenage pregnancy as well in my life. Through God's grace, that did not happen. And I'm happily married, by the way. So January coming, 15 years with my one and only. I've got 2 kids. So now you know the deets on me. But I want to come back to my mom. I watched her faith being fueled even though her body was wasting away. And that for me is forever etched in my mind as part of my reason to continue. As a 16-year-old girl, she could have, but she didn't. And she carried me, and I'm here today to be a witness of what answering the call of God looks like. Yeah? Because we're not ashamed of the gospel. And another thing, and as I always say, and if you read my book, you will see it. It's on the back of the book, by the way. Answering the call of God is not throwing cold water on your best life. Hello? Yeah. And lastly, I want to say, during COVID again, there's a very strong scripture that really anchored me, and it was Paul's advice to Timothy. Paul's advice was this: Timothy, do not allow your faith to be shipwrecked. I'm giving you time to soak it in. So don't get it twisted. I did not do this on my own. In my early days, because this is where the fortitude was being built, and I didn't know that this is what it was until now. My church community, my friends, being on the junior choir, being on the youth choir at 13, 16, 17, in those turbulent years, that is what held me together and kept me in a place where I really learned to trust God with my life. It kept me on my toes. It kept me out of trouble. So to my people you're at my age, and you've done it, you've seen it, you've been there, you've done that, you've bought that t-shirt, and you're saying, church be churching, I can't be bothered. Listen, while you rise, or while we rise in our qualifications, in our job positions, in our faith and true worship, must continue to rise. He is our cornerstone. So let the worshipers arise now. Let the worshipers arise. And let the enemy, let our enemies be scattered. Let's fortify.